Ever wondered if the priorities you've set in life are really leading you where you want to go? We all have our own unique set of priorities. For some, it's building a successful career, climbing the corporate ladder, and achieving professional victories. For others, it's nurturing a family, creating a loving home filled with laughter and shared memories. Then there are those of us who prioritize the accumulation of wealth, believing that financial security will bring peace of mind. And let's not forget the ones who place health at the forefront, investing time and energy into maintaining physical and mental well-being. But do these priorities bring us the lasting satisfaction we seek, or are they just temporary fixes, fleeting moments of happiness in an otherwise chaotic world? Is there something more, something deeper, something that offers not just temporary relief but enduring contentment? Perhaps it's time to reconsider what we place at the top of our list. What if making God a top priority could lead to permanent change? Scene script. Imagine rearranging your life with God as the top priority. What might that look like? The idea of prioritizing God may seem abstract, even overwhelming, but it's simpler than you might think. It's not about abandoning your job, family, or hobbies. Instead, it's about seeing and approaching these aspects of life through a spiritual lens. It's about nurturing a conscious relationship with the divine and allowing that connection to guide your daily decisions and actions. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thought that crosses your mind? Is it the stress of work, the anxieties of life, or the countless tasks that await you? Now imagine if your first thought was of gratitude, of connection with a higher power, of peace and purpose. That's a small glimpse of what life can look like when God becomes a priority. This shift doesn't mean you'll suddenly have all the answers or that challenges will cease to exist. Life will still be life, filled with ups and downs, triumphs and trials. But with God as your compass, you'll navigate these waters differently. You'll find strength in times of adversity, peace amidst chaos, and joy in the simplest moments. This isn't about ignoring the world and its responsibilities, but rather about viewing them in a new light. Your job isn't just a job. It's an opportunity to serve, to contribute, to make a difference. Your family isn't just a group of individuals, it's a divine bond, a community of love and support. Your hobbies aren't just pastimes, they are expressions of the divine creativity within you. Making God a priority is about inviting spirituality into every aspect of your life, not as an obligation but as a source of inspiration, guidance, and fulfillment. It's about letting your faith illuminate your path, color your experiences, and shape your interactions. A life centered around God may look different for everyone, but the common thread is a shift in perspective, a change in priorities. So, how can making God a top priority lead to permanent change? Well, let's delve into that. Priorities are like compasses. They guide our decisions, steer our attitudes, and influence our actions. When God becomes the magnetic north on our compass, our paths start to align with something greater than ourselves. Imagine a life where your decisions aren't dictated by societal pressures or self-interest, but by divine guidance. This shift in decision-making can lead to a profound change in our behaviors. Instead of choosing what's easy or beneficial in the moment, we start to choose what's right and meaningful. We become more patient, more forgiving, and more loving. Our actions start to reflect the virtues that God embodies. And this is the first step towards permanent change. But the influence of this priority shift doesn't stop at our behaviors. It seeps into our relationships as well. When we let God guide our interactions, we start to see people through a lens of compassion and understanding. We become better listeners, better friends, and better partners. Our relationships become deeper, more authentic, and more fulfilling. Now imagine the ripple effect this can have on your life satisfaction. When your actions align with your beliefs and your relationships are rooted in love, there's a sense of harmony that pervades your life. You feel more content, more at peace, and more fulfilled. Your life becomes a reflection of your values, and there's a deep satisfaction that comes from living a life that's true to who you are. This is the power of making God a top priority. It's not just about attending church more or praying more, although those are important aspects. It's about letting God influence every decision, every relationship, and every aspect of your life. It's about aligning your path with God's path and letting that guide your journey. Shifting our priorities towards God can cause a ripple effect, changing not just us, but the world around us. So, are you ready to embark on this journey towards permanent change? You might wonder, how do I start making God a top priority? Well, let's delve into some practical steps that you can incorporate into your daily routine, and before you know it, you'll be on a path to a life centered around God. First off, consider spending time in prayer and meditation. This doesn't have to be a chore or a task you dread. Quite the opposite, in fact. Prayer and meditation can be a source of solace and strength. Think of it as a conversation with God, an opportunity to express your gratitude, share your worries, and seek guidance. Start with just 5 minutes a day and gradually increase this time as you become more comfortable. Next, engage with spiritual texts. Regardless of your faith, there's a wealth of wisdom to be gleaned from religious and spiritual writings. They can provide comfort, provoke thought, and offer insights on how to live a godly life. Take some time each day to read and reflect on these texts, and consider keeping a journal of your thoughts and reactions. This can provide a valuable record of your spiritual journey. Another crucial step is seeking out a spiritual community. We're social creatures, and our beliefs, values, and behaviors are shaped in large part by the people around us. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who prioritize God can be a powerful source of support and inspiration. This doesn't mean you have to join a church or a temple, although that's certainly an option. There are many ways to find spiritual communities, such as online forums, social media groups, or local meetups. Now let's not forget about the importance of practicing kindness and compassion in daily life. In many spiritual traditions, acts of kindness are considered a form of worship. They're a way to express our love for God by loving His creation. This can be as simple as holding the door for someone, offering a kind word to a stranger, or volunteering your time to a cause you care about. Remember, every act of kindness, no matter how small, is a step towards making God a top priority. Finally, remember to be patient with yourself. Changing priorities is a process, and it won't happen overnight. You'll have days when you struggle, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Instead, acknowledge the struggle, seek God's guidance, and keep moving forward. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each step you take brings you closer to a life centered around God. So take a deep breath and take that first step. You've got this. To recap, we've explored the idea of making God a top priority in our lives. We've journeyed through some significant points of reflection and action, and it's important to bring those together here as we conclude our exploration. We began with the crucial question of priorities, challenging ourselves to scrutinize our current priorities. Are they serving us? And more importantly, are they serving a greater purpose? We grappled with the hard truth that many of our priorities might be short-lived and superficial, lacking in the depth and meaning that we truly desire in our lives. Then, we delved into the concept of God as a top priority, an idea that might seem daunting at first. But as we discussed, this doesn't necessarily mean retreating from the world. Instead, it's about integrating our spiritual beliefs into every aspect of our daily lives, letting them guide our decisions, actions, and relationships. We then embarked on the path to permanent change, understanding that real lasting transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, a process that requires patience, perseverance, and above all, faith. We discussed the importance of consistency in our spiritual practices, of staying committed even when the path seems challenging. And finally, we offered practical steps towards making God a top priority. We talked about the importance of setting aside dedicated time each day for prayer or meditation, of seeking spiritual guidance, and of serving others as a way of honoring and connecting with the divine. In drawing these threads together, we see that making God a top priority isn't about giving up or losing anything. Rather, it's about gaining a deeper, more meaningful connection with the divine, with ourselves, and with the world around us. It's about inviting a transformation that permeates every aspect of our lives. As we make God a top priority, we invite lasting change into our lives, transforming not just ourselves, but the world around us. So, are you ready to rearrange your priorities?